welcome to tonight's Senior Athletic Awards Banquet. It's a little different speaking to an empty gym and not having kids and families in here, but the purpose of tonight remains the same. The philosophy behind this banquet is to recognize each individual senior for their participation and accomplishments over the course of their career here at Stanwood High School. All right. Again, tonight we will be recognizing individual students throughout the evening, and then towards the end we will also be recognizing specific students in regards to Booster Club awards. I'd like to start off with a few thank yous, starting with the school district, the school board, and the district office. Over the last year and a half, they have given a lot of support during this construction phase. Our teams have been misplaced. We've had to transport. We've had to do many different things over time, and the senior class has seen that. And the district office and the school board have been very supportive of our kids. They've provided financial assistance, and also they've been to many of our activities. Right. Also, the high school administration team, Mrs. Del Pozo, Mrs. Coombs, Mrs. Eichler, Mr. Short, Mr. Ovanel, for the countless times and hours they've spent at games and supervising and helping out with crowd control. That can be a little bit challenging with some of our folks. Right? And then the Booster Club. They are behind the scenes actively participating and engaged in our students' activities, athletics, academics, and arts at this school. There's not a whole lot of things that they do not have some type of hand in, and I truly appreciate that. Okay. For the athletic end, Jill Vale has been instrumental in running our athletic Booster Club section with the sports camps, and we're going to truly miss her because this is her last year. So Jill, a special thanks goes out to you this year. Okay. Volunteers and game workers. Every year that we put on an event, I put out a notice to our staff and community members to see who's interested in helping out. Okay. It takes quite a bit of time, effort, and energy to run the events, from single personnel games such as soccer, volleyball, where I have a ticket taker to an announcer, all the way to track meets where you have dozens of individuals out there. These events would not happen if it wasn't for the people that are out volunteering their time to help our kids participate in the events that they want to. And I want to thank them. Okay. Coaches. The coaches have put in a tremendous amount of time working with our kids. Okay. And I know that this spring has been very tough on everyone, including coaches. That group of folks have suffered just as much as the kids, and I just want to make sure that I recognize the fall, winter, and spring coaches for everything that they have done for us. Okay. Evan Caldwell for the newspaper. He is at so many of our activities and events. He comes, he takes pictures, he interviews. He is a proponent of Stanwood athletics, which is such a benefit for us in a small town to have those sections in the newspaper highlighting our kids. Okay. TCSN Sports for broadcasting. They go to games, they host, when we host games, they're here. They do an outstanding job also of promoting our teams and our individual athletes. Okay. A couple of special thank yous, starting off with tonight's presentation. We have the voice of the Spartans that has set up this video taping session, Mr. Ross Short. He has also done the celebration of excellence and is lending a hand into the graduation ceremonies that we'll be doing next week. If it wasn't for him, I think a lot of you know that Mrs. Wark and myself are not real tech savvy, and we might not be able to function and get this presentation done. So Mr. Short, thank you very much for tonight's help. Okay. And that leads me into Mrs. Wark. As most of you know, she is the face behind the athletics here. She works with the kids throughout the year. She knows every individual athlete. She takes pride in helping them out. And this presentation, a little bit different from the years past. She's put together some really nice slides, and I want to make sure that she knows that she's appreciated for all the time and effort that she's put into this banquet, and of course throughout the course of the year. All right. So next, before we start this ceremony, I would like to have Bethany Van Zant and Shintaro Wilcox please come up for the national anthem.
see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow, thank you. That was awesome, folks. It never ceases to amaze me the talent that we have of kids here at this school, from the academics to the athletics to the arts. And these kids are such well-rounded people all the way across the board, and it's a pleasure working with them. Okay? So as we get going into tonight's ceremony, the first thing we're going to do is recognize each individual athlete. This is one of the slideshows that Mrs. Wark has put together. Okay? Hopefully we have pictures for most kids. Some didn't get submitted, but we have a slide on each student athlete, kind of a little bit of rundown of maybe what they've participated in and where they're going if we have heard from them. So please just enjoy the next couple of minutes of watching the senior slideshow. Thanks.
There's a light that glows by the front door. Don't forget the keys under the mat. When childhood stars shine, always stay humble and kind. Go to church 'cause your mama says to. Visit grandpa every chance that you can. Won't be wasted time, always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When the dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip, and here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Know the difference between sleeping with someone and sleeping with someone you love. I love you ain't no pickup line, so always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When those dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put when it's hot, eat a root beer popsicle. Shut off the AC and roll the windows down. Let that summer sun shine. Always stay humble and kind. Don't take for granted the love this life gives you. When you get where you're going, don't forget, turn back around and help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind.
I know water that's thicker than blood, that's deeper than love with my friends. People coming, some people going, some people ride to the end. When I am blind in my mind, I swear they'd be my rescue, my lifeline. I don't know what I'd do if I'd survive. My brothers and my sisters in my life. Yeah, I know some people, they would die for me. We run together, they're my family. When I get up, they gon' be high with me. I'll say forever, my family. Family. I'll say forever, my family. I'll say forever, my family. Stolen dreams took off, I tried to stay still. Ain't nothing changed, now we're grown. We're still young, still got our mindless ways in a timeless phase, kicking songs. When I am blind in my mind, I swear they'd be my rescue, my lifeline. I don't know what I'd do if I'd survive. My brothers and my sisters in my life. Yeah, I know some people, they would die for me. We run together, they're my family. When I get up, they gon' be high with me. I'll say forever, my family. Family. I'll say forever, my family. I'll say forever, my family. I know some people, they would die for me. We run together, they're my family. When I get up, they gon' be high with me. I'll say forever, my family.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place.
How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond. And that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn. And that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone.
How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
I know they say you can't go home again. I just had to come back one last time. Ma'am, I know you don't know me from Adam, but these handprints on the front steps are mine. Up those stairs in that little back bedroom is where I did my homework and I learned to play guitar. And I bet you didn't know, under that live oak, my favorite dog is buried in the yard. I thought if I could touch this place, I'll feel it. This brokenness inside me might start healing. Out here it's like I'm someone else. I thought that maybe I could find myself. If I could just come in, I swear I'll leave. Won't take nothing but a memory from the house that built me. Mama cut out pictures of houses for years, from Better Homes and Garden magazine. Plans were drawn and concrete poured, nail by nail and board by board. Daddy gave life to Mama's dream. I thought if I could touch this place, I'll feel it. This brokenness I could just come in, I swear I'll leave. Won't take nothing but a memory from the house that built me. You leave home, you move on, and you do the best you can. I got lost in this old world and forgot who I am. I thought if I could touch this place or feel it, this brokenness inside me might start healing. Out here it's like I'm someone else. I thought that maybe I could find myself. If I could walk around, I swear I'll leave. Won't take nothing but a memory from the house that built me.
See the way you're taking care of your mama, the way you're taking care of me, the way you light up any room, girl, you're what this world should be. Tomorrow, tonight, the rest of my life, I wanna be the man you want me to be. So starting right now, girl, tell me everything you need. I just wanna wake up every day here in this bed, never leave, I love you left unsaid. It might take 100 lifetimes to do, but baby, I just wanna be good as you. Girl, you're more than just the surface. Yeah, you got the heart of gold. So when it comes to loving you, baby, now it'll never get old. Tomorrow, tonight, the rest of my life, I wanna be the man you want me to be. So starting right now, girl, tell me everything you need. I just wanna wake up every day here in this bed, never leave, I love you left unsaid. It might take 100 lifetimes to do, but baby, I just wanna be good as you. Good as you, baby. I just wanna wake up every day here in this bed, never leave, I love you left unsaid. It might take 100 lifetimes to do, but baby, I just wanna be good as you. I just wanna wake up every day here in this bed, never leave, I love you left unsaid. It might take 100 lifetimes to do, but baby, I just wanna be good as you. Baby, I just wanna be good as you.
Next, we're going to move into some of our individual presentations. The first award that we're going to be handing out is called the Cliff Gillies Award. This is an award based on a former WIAA district representative, high school coach, high school administrator, teacher. And it's based on character and citizenship. what these individuals do around their community, around their school as leaders, not necessarily as athletic talent, but more so on that point of being a person of character. Right? Cliff Gillies was all about that and all about what you did for your building to make your building better. Presenting first will be Zach Ward for the Male Cliff Gillies Award.
As the boys' head basketball coach at Stanford High School, I've had the pleasure of working with this year's winner for the last 7 years in both the classroom and on the basketball court. This nominee is an excellent student, shown by his 3.98 grade point average and induction into our National Honor Society as a sophomore. He showed the great ability to handle the pressures that athletics bring while keeping up with his classes across the board. Student athletes are presented with some definite challenge when trying to balance school and sports. He has handled this with great pride and determination and is an example of what we strive our student athletes to be. Watching him grow as an athlete and a young man have been an absolute pleasure and makes him a perfect fit for this award. His desire and work ethic have helped him grow into one of the top players on our team. His attributes he brings as a leader were a crucial piece to what we had as a group of players this year. The qualities he brings can be extremely hard to teach, especially in today's young athletes. His ability to play extremely hard while keeping his emotions in check is a constant challenge for young athletes today. These attributes were further acknowledged by a letter our school received from the Local Officials Association commenting on what a great young man and competitor he was during competition. He handled his role on our basketball team to perfection. His determination and accolades have helped him being accepted to continue his education at the University of Washington next year. I believe he is an extremely capable and confident individual. I have zero doubt that he's going to be incredibly successful at whatever he chooses to do. It's my pleasure to award Cameron Everett this year's male recipient of the Cliff Gillies Award. Next is Coach Sneva to introduce the female Cliff Gillies Award.
The student athlete for the Cliff Gillies this year for the female exemplifies a strong connection to her community. She has got a 3.7 GPA, and she's of great character as I coached her in cross country and track and field. Maddie Hepper is all state when it comes to being a teammate and a person and someone involved in the community. She has countless hours of volunteering for the food bank. She has hours volunteering at 4 to 5 different community events over the last 3 to 4 years at the Camano Center. And she also volunteers every year at the Lights of Christmas. And I think one of the coolest stories about Maddie is that I have her brother in class as a sophomore, and the last 2 years she's been the boys basketball intern for Sports Med. And her brother says in class that I love having my sister as my sports med person because I get to see her at practice, I get to see her at home, and that's a really cool connection that siblings have for such a young age, that a sophomore boy and a freshman boy, she's been doing it for 2 years, loves the fact that her sister is able to be with him and amongst his friends at practice every day and on the away games and home games. That's pretty special. And she comes from a special family, and it's a great honor for Maddie Hepper to be this year's female Cliff Gilly Award winner. Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you, Coach Sneva, and congratulations, Cam and Maddie. Honors well deserved. The next presentation is our WIAA Team Academic Awards. Each year, the WIA recognizes teams that reach specific grade point averages. These averages are the cumulative average of their varsity teams. There is the Distinguished Team Award, which goes from a 3.0 to a 3.49 grade point average. And then there is the Outstanding grade point average, which goes from 3.5 to a 4.0. And as every year, we have multiple teams in both of these categories. So I'd like to start off by reading the Distinguished Team WIA Award winners. Boys tennis with a 3.626 GPA. Boys swim with a 3.346 GPA. Girls wrestling with a 3.019 GPA. Boys wrestling had a 3.188 GPA. Baseball, 3.455 grade point average. Girls golf, 3.477 GPA. And fast pitch with a 3.339 GPA. Again, those teams received the Distinguished WIA Academic Team Award. These teams received the WIAA Outstanding Academic Awards, and they were averaged between a 3.5 and a 4.0 grade point average. Fall cheerleading had a 3.656 GPA. Girls soccer had a 3.6 grade point average. Girls swim had 3.626 GPA. Volleyball was at a 3.773 grade point average. Boys basketball was 3.739 GPA. Girls basketball, 3.531 grade point average. Winter cheer had a 3.76 grade point average, as did boys golf with a 3.76 GPA. And finally, our girls tennis team had a 3.782 GPA. I'd like to congratulate all those teams. We talk about being a scholar athlete, and our academic athletic code regulations are pretty strict. Kids have to maintain that 2.0 grade point average. They need to be passing all their classes. Okay? They are not called scholar athletes or student athletes for no reason. They have to put in a lot of time in the classroom. And to receive these awards is quite an honor. I want to congratulate those teams once more. Our next awards are the Red and White Varsity Letter Awards. These are awards that are given to student athletes that receive a certain amount of letters throughout their high school career. A White Varsity Letter Award winner has accumulated between 6 and 8 varsity letters. Okay? These are the recipients. Isabel Okoba, 6 varsity letters. Taylor Eldridge, 6 varsity letters. Dylan Link, 6 varsity letters. Haley Ovanell, 6 varsity letters. Anna Shander, 6 varsity letters. Sarah Schmidt, 6 varsity letters. Heidi Tenhopen, 6 varsity letters. Paige Tiff, 6 varsity letters. Alana Velasquez, 6 varsity letters. Lauren Brager, 7 varsity letters. Caleb Danielson, 7 varsity letters. Jacob Grant, 7 varsity letters. Luke Griffin, 7 varsity letters. Sadie Johnson, 7 varsity letters. Jason Corey, 7 varsity letters. Charlotte Bentz, 8 varsity letters. And Shintaro Wilcox with 8 varsity letters. Congratulations to those athletes. Next is the red varsity letter winner award. This goes to the athlete that was able to accumulate between 9 and 12 varsity letters throughout the course of their high school career. This is a rather high level of achievement, and there are only a couple athletes this year. With 9 varsity letters, Preston Pierce. And with 12 varsity letters, meaning she lettered in every sport from her freshman to her senior year, Shelby Lund. Congratulations to you two as well. These athletes will be added to the perpetual plaque in the hallway for the red and white certificate award. Our next set of awards are our academic awards. These will go to the individual athletes that have a cumulative grade point average of a 3.7 GPA. Lauren Coster, 3.713. Rachel Dunning, 3.721. Jack Oldow, 3.729. John Michael Lacerda, 3.738. Heidi Tenhopen, 3.765. Lexi Brennan, 3.773. Avalise Smith, 3.776. Ty Bradley, 3.784. Madeline Ruckert, 3.798. Lucian Malo, 3.8. Lauren Nigeman, 3.823. Cade Getzinger, 3.843. Taylor Eldridge, 3.861. Dylan Link, 3.867. Hannah Lull, 3.867. Landon McAnally, 3.874. Madison Plotz, 3.883. Paige Tiff, 3.889. Brandon Duncan, 3.933. Haley Ovenell, 3.941. Mia Miller, 3.962. Sarah Schmidt, 3.969. Cameron Everett, 3.974. Jetlyn Howe, 3.993. Lily Cunningham, 3.994. Lauren Brager, 4.0. Preston Pierce, 4.0, and Bethany Van Zant, 4.0. A big congratulations to those student athletes for achieving the academic award. Again, their names will also be added to the perpetual plaques that are out in the hallway. The next award is called our multi-sport, three-sport athlete. Their senior year, they have competed in all 3 seasons, fall, winter, and spring. Okay. This year, we have 4 athletes. Jacob Grant, football, boys swim, and track. Shelby Lund, girls soccer, girls soccer, basketball, and golf. Lucian Melo, boys tennis, boys swim, and track. And Dylan Link, boys tennis, boys swim, and soccer. Next will be our Booster Club sponsored awards. These are our Athlete of the Year and Scholar Athlete Year awards. Presenting now is Coach Sean Cunningham. Thank you.
Good evening. In looking at the athletes and the candidates for Athlete of the Year, we see a wide array of talented individuals who exceed standard in their respective sport. They display remarkable athleticism and they exhibit a high degree of achievement. So it's difficult to separate a winner from candidates such as this. So I first want to congratulate all the nominees for the tremendous accomplishments as they round out their high school careers. In regards to the male athlete of the year, I've had the luxury of knowing this individual all throughout high school. When considering what makes this individual stand out, one word completely emerged: competitiveness. We may say that all athletes have this, but there is a distinction with this athlete that I have not seen in others. I've coached for 21 years and have yet to encounter an athlete that generates such a healthy competitive approach to sport as our male athlete of the year. In the simplest sense, Preston Pierce is a consummate competitor. He exudes belief that stifles doubt. He coaches himself up, whether it is game point or warm-ups. His desire to succeed is infectious. As his tennis coach for the last 3 years, I've witnessed an athlete who picked up a racket for the first time as a sophomore and watched him transition himself into a state qualifier his senior year. This is singularly a product of competitiveness. He wants to succeed, he expects to succeed, and when he falls short, which is infrequent, he channels that temporary loss into a greater resolve to win the next time. One of the biggest compliments an athlete can get is when other coaches talk about him or her. I've lost track of how many opposing coaches marveled at Preston's grit and composure and refusal to ever cave in the midst of competition. This brings me to another critical aspect of Preston's success, and that would be his character. One of the most powerful indicators of a successful athlete is how their character shapes them on and off the field. Preston's athleticism and determination was always on display for other coaches to comment on. But the cornerstone behind all this was how Preston carried himself. Confident, yes. Arrogant, no. Leading by example with performance and building cohesiveness within the team setting. To say that Preston was an asset to our program is an understatement. He provided a framework of how to approach the game consistently to the point that he became the best coaching tool I've ever had. The accolades that Preston has received in both tennis and baseball are well-deserved. An All-Wesco athlete in tennis, honorable mention All-Wesco in baseball, MVP for both sports, team captain, 9 letters earned across baseball, tennis, and basketball. This year, a state qualifier in tennis. These are impressive honors, but more importantly, it's his competitiveness and character that set him apart. I want to congratulate you, Preston Pierce, for being Stanwood High School Senior Male Athlete of the Year for 2019-2020. Up next, Coach Freeman.
Hello, my name is Todd Freeman, and I'm here to speak about our first female athlete of the year. This award is going to Chanel Siva for wrestling. And what I'd like to talk about is, what is an athlete? When we talk about athletes, a lot of times we're thinking about Olympians, professional ball players, all that kind of stuff. And we have in our mind a certain body type or a certain mentality that says that that person is an athlete. I'd like to talk about Chanel because when you see Chanel, sometimes you don't always think amazing athlete, right? If we're talking about, Usain Bolt or somebody along those lines, you see that. But what I like about an athlete, what I really truly envision an athlete to be, is that person who overcomes maybe something that in their life or in their physicality or something else that is what other people may see as a shortcoming, but in reality forces them to be a better athlete and to work harder and to attain those goals that others may not. With Chanel, when you see Chanel, you look at her and you're like, she is a solid girl. She is strong. She has got that just muscle mentality, but when you see her, she's also a little bit shorter than most of her opponents. And quite often her opponents would look at her, even in her early years. I would see it when she'd walk out on the mat and they'd be like, I got this one in the bag, right? And then within about 15 to 20 seconds, if they weren't already on their back, they were going, why am I losing to this person, right? And it would happen time and time again. And I would even hear them afterwards talking to their coach saying, I shouldn't have lost to her. And I would have said in my mind, yeah, you would. And you will always, because she is mentally preparing. She is physically preparing. And like I always told her, you have to go in every time assuming that your A game has to be brought. And if they're not bringing their A game because they've already kind of put you to the side, I said, that's going to help you a whole lot. Now, her senior year, she had a partner. Now, Chanel's about 5'5". I might be stretching that a little bit. And her partner in crime her senior year was another gal who was 6'3", 220 pounds. So we had not the two towers, okay, but we had one tower and one government building, okay? And they worked so hard and so well together. And here's the funny aspect of that. They wrestled in at least 7 tournaments in the finals, including districts and regionals, and were one match away from wrestling in the state finals together. And after they would wrestle, Chanel beat Anna every single time. The girls at the table or the people at the table would say, oh, she must have been nice and gave that to her. And it was funny because Chanel and Anna would come back and forth and they'd be like, they just don't understand, and Anna worked hard. She placed at state also, but it was again, the look when people would see Chanel, they're like, oh, well, that big girl's just going to crush her. And she'd come out and she'd out-quick her, outdo everything. So what I'm talking about with Chanel is she has within her that drive, that desire that she is not going to let anyone beat her. And we often talk about in sports how the will to win is great, but the will to prepare to win is even more important. And Chanel was that kind of person. She was always in the weight room. She was always running. She was always putting that extra in. And so that way, when she got to the mat, you knew she was never going to give up. But then she had prepared herself. She had taken all those opportunities to get better. And that's what I talk to my students or my athletes about, is always making sure that, when you're on that mat, you're taking the opportunities to get better than your opponent. Now, let me give you a little accolades about Chanel before we get to some other things, okay? She went to state all 4 years. Her first year was at Mount Vernon. She went there. She did not place. Her sophomore year, she was 5th in state. Her junior and senior year, she was state champion. She's been ranked nationally in the top 10 at her weight class for 3 years in a row. She's going to Corbin University with a full ride scholarship down in Oregon. And I expect that if a Division I school starts opening soon, which they might, depending on what's going on with the whole COVID thing, obviously, you might see her eventually jump from Corbin to a Division I team. She has that kind of talent and that kind of drive. Now, Chanel's mom would be the first to let you know that she raised her daughter to be respectful, okay? Which doesn't mean Chanel did not have attitude, okay? Sometimes the best wrestlers are the ones that have attitude. I've even talked at other schools to the counselors and I said, hey, if you've got some girls that are kind of troubled, send them to me, right? Because those are the ones that we can sometimes change that attitude, not to take it away from them, but to give it directive. Now, Chanel and I had great times, and we had some tough times. I actually had to throw out of practice a couple times, okay? But she always came back. She was always respectful. She always came back with that desire to work harder because she'd missed that opportunity. And, to say that she has overcome many things. She has her family life. There's things there I'm not going to talk about, but there are some things that she's really overcome, that she's really stepped up. And to see her success now and to see where she's going, obviously makes me very proud. Now, I have one story I want to tell here at the end. We already know Chanel's going to college. She's done these great things. But her and I have always had this kind of crazy relationship. And we were driving over to Othello, and we had gotten lost. I had listened to the girls on where to go, and we were going down this road that kind of looked a little offish, like maybe we shouldn't be there. And the girls were all freaking out saying, we got to turn around. So we turned around. Well, Chanel had been sick all the way over, right? And so we had to stop a couple different places. She had to, get rid of what was inside her tummy. And we had stopped at this large apple orchard. And she had to get out, and she was, unfortunately over on the side of the road. And I had gotten out, and I walked over to her, and I said, wow, that is amazing. And she thought I was talking about her, but I wasn't. I was actually talking about there was some snow on the ground. The trees were kind of hung over in a canopy. There was like this cool looking tunnel. And Chanel was all like, oh, Coach really thinks he cares about me. And then she said, I looked up and there's Coach staring off into space down at the apple orchard. And I said, Chanel, this is a great memory. And I reached down and I picked up a stick and I handed it to her. I said, that's for our memory here. And she just started laughing. She goes, Coach? She goes, I'm sick. I said, I know you're sick. I said, but you know what? We always got to look at the positives. You're sick here. We have this beautiful thing out here to look at. And it's funny because that was her sophomore year. And at our banquet at our senior year, she brought that piece of wood back to me. And she's like, Coach, she goes, I know it was weird. She goes, it was kind of an off thing. She goes, but it was like, you're always like, take the moment, appreciate the moment, right? And she goes, I came back and I was like, you know what? That was a great tournament. Even though I was sick, you talked to me, we got through it. And she goes, I don't even remember the tournament as much as I remember that moment in the woods. You handed me a stick saying, remember the good things, even though you're going through the bad things. And that's the one thing I'll always remember about Chanel is no matter how things go on, she has left a legacy with me and with this team, okay, and with this school that will be hard to match for anyone. So at this time, I'd like you to applaud Chanel for us. And I would like to introduce Rita Peterson, who will also be talking about our other female athlete of the year. Thank you.
I have the privilege tonight of presenting the other winner for Female Athlete of the Year. I knew when Jetlyn Howe was a freshman that she would win this award. She started setting school records her freshman year and never stopped. Her name shows up on our record board 4 times, and it's there to stay for a while. She's been all-league in the 100 breaststroke for 4 years and all-league in the 200 IM for the last 2 years. She's competed and placed in the top 10 at state all 4 years. This year, she finished 4th place in the 200 IM and is the defending state champion in the 100 breaststroke. Her winning time of 1:02.04 in the 100 breaststroke was an automatic All-American time and the 3rd fastest time ever in the state of Washington in 3A and 4A girls swimming. You don't become a state champion by chance. It takes an incredible amount of determination and dedication. In Jetlyn's case, it meant 5 a.m. practices in Marysville, followed by a full day at school, 2 hours of high school practice at the Y, and oftentimes another hour or 2 back in the pool in Marysville. Jetlyn didn't just push herself in the pool, she pushed herself in school as well. Over the course of the last 4 years at SHS, she has taken 5 honor levels courses and 8 AP courses, and her GPA is a 3.993. But all the records and amazing times don't tell you about the kind of teammate Jetlyn is, and that's what makes her a winner for me. She is goofy and unassuming, and she always wants what's best for the team. It was never more evident than this year when she gave up a spot on a relay at the state meet so that her teammates could swim it. There are not many high-caliber athletes who willingly give up a swim at state. One other trait that I appreciate about Jet is that she always has a positive attitude. Even after a bad swim, she'd just shrug her shoulders and go after the next race. She made it look easy, but the truth is it wasn't easy, and sometimes balancing it can get to be a lot. I hope that when you look back over this year, that you realize that all of us cheering you on these last 4 years, we're also here to hold you up and support you on this next step. Our team will miss you a great deal next fall, but there is another team that can't wait to get you. This fall, Jetlyn is going to swim for Kenyon College in Ohio. Her new coach had this to say about her. Jetlyn is a passionate woman. She's passionate about her schoolwork, passionate about her swimming, and passionate about helping others. That kind of multidimensional mindset is something we look for in future members of our team. We want people here that love swimming, but that are also passionate and curious about life, and that is something we see in Jetlyn. I always knew Jetlyn would be Female Athlete of the Year. I just didn't realize she'd share this honor with another amazing female athlete. What an awesome class of female athletes for this SHS class of 2020. I want to congratulate Jetlyn and Chanel. Together, you two have made Stanwood athletic history. 2 defending state champions, 1 in swimming and 1 in wrestling. Thank you, girls, for both setting such a high bar for the athletes that come after you. Thank you.
Our last awards tonight are our school booster club sponsored student academic athlete of the year. Speaking now is Coach Rita Peterson.
It is my honor tonight to present the Female Scholar Athlete Award to Lauren Brager. I wish desperately that we were together celebrating these awards. I would have loved to have seen Lauren's face when she realized that she had won this. Lauren knows her strengths in the classroom, but doesn't always appreciate what she brings to the teams that she plays on. She will represent your class as one of your valedictorians on June 12th, and she has earned 7 varsity letters in swimming and tennis over the course of the last 4 years at Stanwood High School. In the classroom, Lauren has taken 5 different honors or college prep classes, as well as 7 AP courses, and maintained a perfect 4.0. She has challenged herself and her peers to deeper thinking and managed to have some fun along the way. Mr. Olson describes Lauren as calm and even-keeled. She's a thoughtful writer and is highly regarded by her peers and teachers. She doesn't say a lot, but when she does, people pay attention. Miss Kelly says one quality that makes Lauren an exceptional student is her willingness to accept feedback on her writing and to apply the feedback while still holding true to her voice. She also spent many early mornings with me over the past 2 years, often showing up at 6:30 a.m. to work on her writing, something few students are willing to do. In the swimming pool, she is a valuable member of our team from her freshman year to her senior year. Lauren qualified for districts all 4 years and made the state team the last 2 years. But Lauren's true value to our team isn't summed up by those big meets. It's captured in practice every day and on our dual meet season. She is one of my all-time favorite swimmers to watch in practice. The harder and longer the set, the better Lauren swam. She swam her best times in practices more than she ever did in a meet. I could always count on Lauren to finish a set, maybe not with a smile, but with 110% effort every single time. Dual meets were the other place that Lauren really made a difference for our team. From the time she was a freshman through this year, she swam in 4 varsity races almost every single meet. You don't win meets with just superstars. You win them with swimmers like Lauren, who score points for our team every time they dive in the pool. The thing that most people don't know is that racing made Lauren physically sick. It was critical to have a garbage can close by after every race. It is not easy to continue to do something that causes you to feel that poorly, but she made the choice to keep swimming. That is ultimately the lesson that I hope our team taught her, that perseverance and sheer mental toughness will take you further than you might imagine. Lauren might not realize how valuable she was to our team, but I do, and we were a better team because she was on it. Lauren, I hope you continue to make yourself uncomfortable and do things that stretch you past your comfort zone. And I hope you know that you are a valuable part of any class or team that you are a part of. Congratulations, Lauren Brager.
Good evening. My name is Matt Brennan, and I'll be presenting the Male Academic Athlete Award tonight. I have a number of different hats that I wear at Stanwood High School. I'm a CTE Health Sciences instructor, a licensed athletic trainer for the athletic department, and I'm also the head baseball coach. Each one of those duties allows me the opportunity to interact with our students and our student athletes on a daily basis. And what a treat that is for me. Our school is full of some amazing students who perform at a very high level academically, and some are able to pair that with being a tremendous athlete as well. Now, before I announce our winner, I'd like to speak briefly to this award. You've probably noticed that we always refer to these individuals as student athletes, and the award we give is academic athlete. The words student and academic are always listed first. These aren't athlete students or athlete academics we're talking about. They are students first. Their academic record speaks for itself. I'm up here presenting the award tonight because the boy I nominated won, and along with that comes the honor of presenting this award to him. I'm very honored and proud to present this year's Male Academic Athlete Award to Preston Pierce. You've already heard about Preston's athletic feats from Coach Cunningham, but I'll give you some tidbits in case you missed. Preston has 9 varsity letters at Stanwood High School, 4 in baseball, 3 in tennis, and 2 in basketball. He participated in every athletic season but 1 in his time at Stanwood. He is a state doubles tennis qualifier. For baseball, he shares the school record for most triples in a season at 3, and he's signed with Allegheny College in Pennsylvania to pitch for the Allegheny Gators and continue his academics. I had the pleasure of coaching Preston for 1 season and 8 days. I was so excited for him in his senior season and to be able to witness what he could do athletically. He had prepared himself as best he could and was one of our senior captains. He was going to have a great year. Fortunately, this is not the end for Preston as far as baseball goes. I look forward to hearing about his accomplishments on the baseball field in college. Academically, Preston has a 4.0 GPA and is one of the valedictorians for the senior class. He achieved this status by taking a strenuous course load that included 6 different AP classes in his time at Stanwood. That's not easy. But what a guy like Preston does is take those lessons he learned on the field and on the court and apply it to his academics. He worked. I don't doubt that there were many nights in the Pierce household where Preston would get home late from a game and would have to put in another 3 hours of studying so he could stay on top. Because that's what a student athlete does. In the baseball program, we have something we do to honor and show respect to a player, coach, or fan. We tip our hat or tip the S. We do this when we believe this person embodies everything the S stands for on our cap. Well, tonight, on behalf of the Stanwood High School Athletic Department, Congratulations to Preston Pierce, the 2020 Male Academic Athlete of the Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Brennan. That concludes tonight's presentations and recognitions. As I started the evening off, it's really difficult to stand here and talk to an open gym. I can't even tell you how enjoyable it was, however, standing out in that open gym and watching Shintaro and Bethany up here practicing, going through a couple of takes, singing their song. Watching the coaches talk a little bit in between filming and then listening to them. I know we had lost one of our seasons this year, and it's painful. I hope it will be something that our students, our parents, our coaches, our community can absorb and eventually look back at and understand what happened and move on from it. But I have no doubt that the student athletes will be able to be resilient and move forward. You have a special bond. A lot of you have been together since grade school, one horse town. You might separate at elementaries, you might have separated at middle schools, but you came together at high schools. You've played together on Little League teams, SCJA teams, AAU teams, high school teams, middle school teams. You've been together a long time. It's a hard way to finish up the year, these virtual ceremonies. I want you all to know that we miss you. We hope that everyone is safe and healthy. And again, that we're resilient enough to move on from this and still enjoy everything that life has to offer us. Thank you and have a good evening.